Hi everyone, it's me, Sunny, and I'm back. Yay! I just took a few days off, and thank you guys so much for letting me do that, letting me take a break over the weekend. I had a lot of fun. I went out and did some stuff and met some new people, hung out with people, had a good time, and it was definitely really what I needed just to get away from the burnout for a bit, so I feel a lot better. And thanks for that. And just, it was actually also very busy going out and doing stuff with people, so I haven't had a lot of time to take care of my physical appearance in the last couple of days. So please excuse this, and it's bad hair day, so I'm wearing my hockey hat. I definitely wanted to get this video out for you guys, especially because a few people have requested a video like this. You've obviously seen the title. But today I'm just going to be talking about my thoughts on the Blood Gulch Chronicles, this part of Red vs. Blue that I've finished reacting to, and then I'll make some predictions slash theories. I don't know if they're really theories. They can't really be called that. You'll see. But I'm going to predict maybe some things that might happen in the upcoming seasons or in just the show as a whole. And one more thing, this video will essentially be just me sitting here on camera, not doing anything exciting, not putting in new clips or anything like that. And I'm just basically reading off a big script I wrote and a bunch of notes I took. So feel free to just watch this video in the background. You really only need the audio for this video. I'm not doing any fancy editing or something. Okay, listen, I was up until 6 a.m. last night having fun. I do not want to put a lot of fancy editing into this video when I don't really need to. So that's about it. Let's go ahead and get started with this. I guess first I'll just start with my general thoughts slash emotions on the entirety of the Blood Gulch Chronicles. As many of you guys know, there were really long breaks between some parts of my Red vs. Blue reactions for various parts of the Blood Gulch Chronicles, and I don't remember every single detail of the earlier seasons, but I do know that I really enjoyed these parts of Red vs. Blue once I really got into it, and I'm just enjoying this series as a whole so far, and I know it's about to explode and get so much bigger and more intense too, so I'm looking forward to that. And I do think it's fairly easy to tell that this series wasn't meant to go on as long as it has, and they didn't think it was going to get as popular as it really did, because the earliest parts of the show have very little plot, but especially, at the very least, by seasons 4 and 5, everything just came together so nicely, and everything just worked, and it just meshed, and it made sense. And while earlier parts of the Blood Gulch Chronicles were just purely comedic, really, I suddenly found myself in a universe much more interesting and complex than I had anticipated. But while I use the word suddenly to describe this, that's more referring to my realization of what the show was slash did become. How do I English? I don't know, I'm fucking tired. And it's referring less to the show suddenly shoehorning in a bunch of lore because they wanted to keep the show going. Because they really didn't do that at all. They really transitioned from just a pure comedy little show to whatever it became, really. And maybe they did suddenly put in huge spurts of lore or universe or whatever with Out of Mind or Recovery 1, but I see those miniseries as necessary gateways into this show that was becoming more and more complex. If they didn't have those series, we would know way less about the universe going into this intense stuff, which I haven't started season 6 yet. I'm doing this before I start season 6. So I really did like those miniseries. I don't know, they didn't necessarily explain a lot about the universe at all. It honestly, both of them made me have more questions than answers, but it really pulled me in and got me really interested in what the heck was going on. So I think the show did that really well. Seasons 4 and 5 are my favorite seasons so far, even though I've only seen 5 seasons, but they're my favorites for different reasons. I really love season 4 because, in my opinion, out of the entire BGC, that season has the best comedy and humor, and I thought it was just, in general, out of the 5 I've seen, counting the miniseries, it's been the most fun to just sit down and watch and react to, because it's so funny, I'm having a good time. So Season 4 was really, really fun and just enjoyable to watch. But same goes for Season 5, but in a slightly different way, because the plot super started taking off and getting going, and we're introduced to some of the little mysteries that are going on in this universe, which is why I mentioned I have more questions than answers right now. And the plot in season 5 really just like drew me in and made me realize that this show gets much more serious and intense, but at the same time, it was also still funny, and I'm really glad that the humor wasn't sacrificed for more plot, if that makes sense. And I must admit, though, that I only ever really started watching Red vs. Blue and reacting to it because people requested it, and in the earliest days of my Red vs. Blue reactions, which are basically like fucking 3 years ago, oh my god, I wasn't super into Red vs. Blue. Like, I've always thought it was funny, but seasons 1 and 2 weren't things I would generally seek out to watch for fun on my own. Topical thing that hopefully will explain my mindset in this. I saw the movie Joker last night, and while it was a phenomenal piece of cinema, and I think it succeeded in exactly what it set out to do and what it set out to be, I wouldn't want to watch a movie like that for fun on my free time. Like, that movie, like, fucked with my emotions and took a few years off my life. I wouldn't want to watch that again for fun, but it was a really good movie. And that's kind of how I felt about the earliest seasons of Red vs. Blue, though those are quite different from the movie Joker. And yes, I did watch the earliest seasons a couple years before I started reactions. A lot of you guys know that. And I was watching it on my own, but that was less because I really enjoyed it then during those years, and more because I wanted to be in the RVB loop, because it was basically how Rooster Teeth got started. But after season 3 reactions, and especially after my most recent reactions as well, I've really gotten into the show that even if I stopped making reactions forever, like today, like for some reason, I probably would keep watching Red vs. Blue because I'm super interested in it by now. And of course, you guys have really been amazing and supportive of me, which is another reason I like to keep these videos going, because you guys deserve it and y'all are awesome. And you've also been very patient with me when I have no idea what the hell is going on, which is why I started to take notes and such. So thank you all for that, and thank you for the support so far. So for the next part of this video, just a little couple minutes, I'm going to be revisiting my season 4 finale reaction, because after reacting to the season 4 finale episodes, there's a whole playlist, so if you missed that, then check the description for the link to my Red vs. Blue reaction playlist. But someone left a comment, someone named Blake left a comment on the video that said I figured it out, but they obviously couldn't tell me what it was, and that, quote, nobody had ever figured it out this early. So shout out to you, Blake, your comment really intrigued me. So like you suggested, I went back and rewatched my reaction to that, and I took notes on what I said, which I expected to take more notes, because during that reaction, I thought maybe there would be like some little subtle claim I made about some plot point or some character, but unless I like really missed something, there's not a lot of claims or predictions I made in that reaction video. I only was able to write down 3 that I think could be what Blake was talking about. So I wrote down that Red Command doesn't actually care about the conflict in Blood Gulch. The second thing I wrote down was the Reds won't win, and then in parentheses, because Sarge is leading them, so I don't know if Sarge like gets ousted or something. But the thing that is probably it, if I had to pick from my reaction, was the third thing I wrote down, which is there's no actual war between the Reds and the Blues. That's when I heard myself say that in the reaction, I was like, okay, that's gotta be it, right? Because if the whole show is called Red vs. Blue, and the premise is they're fighting each other, but then, like, Command doesn't give a shit or something, like, and sometimes their command is the same. So, if anything, I think that, the thing that I said in my season 4 finale reactions that Blake said I figured out was there's no actual war between the Reds and the Blues. So I'm just gonna go with that. Yeah, don't tell me if I'm right or wrong, but if I got it right, then you guys heard it here first. Lastly, I do want to talk about my predictions moving forward in Red vs. Blue, and thankfully I'm returning back to a script now, because I would not be able to articulate what I want to say without having a script in front of me. So I'm going to preface this section by saying that I am very bad at formulating theories and predicting things in like movies, TV shows, whatever, etc. So seriously, be prepared to be let down by any predictions I'm about to make, And don't hate me if they aren't good, because I'm telling you now, they're not going to be that good. Like, I'm very bad at predicting things, like I said. Like, even in the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, I did not know that, what's his name, Vulture was that girl's dad until, like, you literally saw him go to the house before Homecoming. Like, most people predicted that totally, and I did not see it coming. Like, I am that bad. So, back to Red vs. Blue. As far as character predictions, I've come up with a few things. I predict for Church that he will be a major player, like a big important character in upcoming episodes / seasons, as he needs an outlet for all of the aggression that's been building up inside him from seasons 4 and 5, and especially with he thinks he lost Tex basically at this point. But I also do think that he will somehow die permanently during the show, like he won't even exist as a ghost anymore. And then for Caboose, I don't even know like if this counts, but I think he will never die, because even though RT Animation has done some emotional shit that breaks my heart, Caboose is too pure for them to have anything bad actually happen to him. And if something bad does happen to him, I've already said that I will lose my shit. So this is more of a hope than prediction, but I also think that he needs to find everlasting love and happiness, because that is what Caboose deserves. And then for Tex, I don't think she's fully dead or like gone forever. She's like a ghost, but y'all know. Despite what appears to have happened to the ship that she was trying to escape on, though when I think we see her next, I think she'll be more like independent, not really hanging out with the Reds and Blues or the villains. I think she just wants to be like doing her own thing and just doing whatever benefits her. So next I have Simmons, and I predict that if anyone on Red Team dies permanently, like doesn't even become a ghost or whatever, I think it would be Simmons. I don't really know why I feel this. Maybe like I have a bit of bias against him, like I said before, but I just predict that sometime between now and the end of the series he will die permanently. And then for Griff, I think as much as he hates the war, as much as he hates that and like being on the Red Team and such, I think he will get some kind of promotion or just become more important on Red Team somehow. I don't know why I feel these things. I don't know why I predict this, but it's a feeling, bro. It's a feeling. As for O'Malley, I think we obviously haven't seen the last of him either, and I think that even though he was introduced early on as like the earliest villain we ever saw, and he honestly doesn't seem like he'd be too difficult to defeat eventually, I think he will likely remain in the show for a long time, maybe because of nostalgia, or we just may find out that he's part of a much larger evil force similar to Cinder from RWBY. And then they got Wyoming, and if I remember correctly, all that was left of him alive was the head that Tex brought on the ship, and like I said, I don't think the ship exploded. I don't think everything in there is fucking dead, so I also think he will be coming back. And then Washington from Recovery 1, I've heard people like say Washington is this amazing character, but now we're led to believe he's dead. I doubt he's actually dead, or at least like we won't see him as a ghost, because so far it just seems like everyone becomes a ghost when they die, and if they have a new body they can basically just keep on living. So I seriously doubt we've seen the last of him. I know there might be flashbacks and stuff like that, but I seriously don't think he's like gone forever in the present. And in general for characters, I think we're about to be introduced to a bunch of new ones as well, similar to Out of Mind and Recovery 1. So until I see the new characters and how they interact with the old characters, I think it's pretty hard for me to come up with anything else of substance. And lastly, I have a couple of predictions for the plot as a whole. So first off, like I've already implied, I don't think that the ship at the end of season 5 actually exploded and killed everyone / everything in it. I think it was able to teleport away or something first, and then there was an explosion for some reason. I can't explain it, but I seriously don't think the ship exploded and everything is dead. I think it was able to like teleport away somehow first. And then I also predict that there's going to be some corruption within what we know as Command that we're going to find out about, and possibly that they're involved with the people who are killing the freelancers, maybe because Command realized that the freelancers just kind of like got out of hand, so maybe they want to get rid of them. I don't know. And then I also want to say something about how Yellow Church became a real person and was able to go back in time. But I don't think I know enough about the universe to say how Yellow Church became real. So I'm going to take a shot in the dark here and say that he became real because Caboose is, for whatever reason, some special individual with a unique mind space with unique properties. So if anyone died in his mind space that didn't previously actually exist, they would become real. Like in the way that Church did it. He killed himself to get out of Caboose's head. So, I don't know. I know that probably makes no fucking sense. But, and then maybe Yellow Church was able to travel back in time to, like, the season 3 time travel stuff due to, I think he was, like, crouching over a dead Wyoming body or something when he went back in time. So maybe it has to do with he used Wyoming's little technology that allows Wyoming to do the time loops, possibly. I think he might have used that to go back in time. And then I think the whole plot to enslave the aliens that we were introduced to somehow ties into the person or people killing the freelancers and taking the AIs. Maybe this evil group or individual in charge is like O'Malley and wants to rule the universe or something, so they need the aliens to help them and do their bidding, while the AIs may be used to help the bad guys rule the universe. Or I had a thought that said they want to collect all the AIs to combine them into one super AI that would basically mean game over for all the good guys in the universe. Who fucking knows? So that's about all I got in terms of predictions, and that's about all I got for this video. Thanks for watching. I don't know if this is what y'all really wanted. I mean, I know some people requested a video like this, but I don't know if this is what you were expecting, but this is what I came up with. So like I said before, thanks for letting me take a break. If you missed my update video, it's the last video on my channel. I'm doing a slightly altered upload schedule. Nothing too bad though, so basically things will be back to normal. But yeah. Wow, Blood Gulch Chronicles is over, and we're about to, like, start, like, the where red versus blue takes off. I still can't talk today, so I'm going to end the video here. Like I said, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for all the support on red versus blue reactions. It means a lot to me, and I'm super excited to start season 6 later this week. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!